Welcome to video 6, Ephraim, false Israel equals unicorn. And in looking at Isaiah 45:7, the other supporting scriptures that we haven't talked about yet is going to be Amos chapter 5 verse 8 says something like, seek him who made Orion. It doesn't say seek Orion. It says, seek him who made Orion. And then compare that same type of terminology with Isaiah 45:7, where you see it says, and God created evil, you should see, and God created Ra or Re. And then that is the connection to the prince of this world, who was at one time not fallen. And we would find that in chapter 38 of the book of Job, verses 1 through 7 is pre-rebellion. And then the morning stars would be connected to the prince of this world, a high order of spirit sonship. And then, of course, the sons of God are connected to the Anunnaki pre-rebellion. You know, they didn't rebel, at least in semblance, until they had took on to themselves the daughters of men. So they were here sometime and have left evidence of a high spirit culture, even pre-rebellion. But then we know that that is all muddled and confused after the rebellion, at least within our record, from which thing represents what and from whence it came. So I'm trying to get you to see that understanding that if you look at Amos chapter 5 verse 8, it's describing seek him once again who made Orion, or who made Ra. And then Job chapter 9 verse 9, it says something to the effect of who maketh the stars, Orion, etc. Once again, a connection to Orion and even those of Orion being created. And then that would be that Anunnaki, at least the sons of God that were sent to this world to do this special work, usher in a spiritual civilization on an evolving world, and to help, of course, the material evolution. But that was all aborted, and we know what type of world we live in because of it. And then we go up to Job chapter 38 verse 31, and then who can loose the bands of Orion. So I really hope that you understand the very powerful scriptural picture that can be painted with those verses of Isaiah chapter 45 verse 7, Amos chapter 5 verse 8, Job chapter 9 verse 9, and Job chapter 38 verse 31. And then compare that, of course, with the Ezekiel chapter 28. And then, it can begin to paint a picture of understanding that most people have never had before. There's a great depth of biblical understanding here that is being, in essence, swept under the rug when so many people generalize things and forget to really understand the historical reality, at least to the prophecy manifests from it. You got to know the root to the fruit. And then everything in between is relative to those two positions. If it's not the truth. There ain't no doubt. So, nonetheless, those are the scriptures. We might look into them a little bit further here and there. But I think what Jesus is saying in chapter 11, verse 33 through 36 is incredible. And it's incredible in perspective of this semblance here. Incredible. So, reading on, many of you, due to certain preachers or even the mini-series called Left Behind, think God, meaning Jesus, taught or described this presently offered idea of a rapture where God lifts away his elect to a type of barn, symbolized place of safety at or during the time of great tribulation. Now, of course, I know that Jesus in Matthew 13 describes this barn connection of safety, but you got to realize he's describing that in reference to after his elect and select have already been divided and separated upon the four corners, the four winds that we see are due to Ephraim and Manasseh, in Deuteronomy chapter 33, being described as those unicorns that we've already looked into. So when you see Jesus describing his angels being sent to gather his elect from the four corners, so to say, it's already after the tribulation, of which the true Christian believers are the ones that are being going through the tribulation based upon their faith and their belief in Jesus. These people are at war with this understanding of Jesus Christ, and they want to rid the world of it. So you can see now where Ephraim and Manasseh have this V for vendetta that is deeper rooted than just symbolisms with Esau and Jacob. It begins to come to fruition with the position between the two types of Son of God. One being the ultimate, Jesus Christ, the creator Son thereof, the world, the universe we're in, and then the creatures. Even this sonship of prince, lesser order, class of sonship of which the fallen prince is, and then Jesus Christ is his creator Son Father. But of course Jesus Christ is in representation of the living word, the Father in paradise, or at least the living word of that Father in paradise, which means he has at this time supreme authority even of the universe of his own making. And he causes himself to go through certain trials or bestowals, of which he did on this earth as he fulfilled himself in the likeness of mortal flesh, and then caused himself to overcome this world and even the rebellion in it, the fallen prince at that time, in the flesh, as a man would, or as a man is expected and even capable of in his potential. Incredible. Incredible. Okay. So that thing with the rapture, guys, you got to see the way that Jesus is talking about when his occurs is at the very end. But theirs is something that takes place in essence at that flash of the hat, so to say. And then that's where New York City gets hit. And then we see in Zach 4, that's the roll, the curse that goes out upon the earth. Connect that to Revelation 18, that great city, at least the lower reflection thereof. And then Zach 5 describes people being lifted up in semblance with the basket. And then think of the movie E.T. with, the basket and Elliot, and then there's the moon in the back, and then think elites, and the whole thing kind of fits together right there. So really not exactly is Jesus Christ saying that. He is talking about a barn semblance of his type of safety, but also there's the warning of their imposter form of what they want people to believe is that safe barn. So in fact, he prays to the Father in paradise against this version of the false rapture. But he does speak of his plan to save his elect and new believers. And I say new believers because that's important. Because you're going to find out that many of the believers are salvaged from the positions where they're casted in the distance at the four corner regions. And I said even that is in relationship to portions in my mind that are connected to the moon. And then of course things that are connected even below ground here. And then we're going to find that there's going to be some sort of timing period in which some of these people are going to change their tune and have the opportunity to come back to the truth. And then we see that the new believers and even the select and the elect that have been pushed into these distances, the far reaches of the world, separated or even being divided, so to say, are gathered to safety when the ultimate of this type of judgment lands atop the head of these people that are seeking to judge the world falsely. Incredible. And it's a lot to say. And I tried to go into the type of detail that I do because it's so important. And you have to understand the way that I talk about it is from different observational standpoints, but yet you're all looking at the same thing, at least the event history in question that we're talking about now. So just understand that you have to look at it in multiple ways because it has been translated by multiple cultures and peoples that have been in power in places in the world that have fulfilled things in a particular manner. And then you think about the agenda of the United States, therefore connected to Freemasonry, and you have to realize that this agenda is being fulfilled through their perspective thereof of it. And then somehow us being involved in it, we need to know about it, and it's coming to fruition. I'll be back.